Thanks, Davina. Hi everyone, I'm Tim Ferguson. I'm a facilitator based up in northern New South Wales and I'm pleased to be able to talk about John and the team at Skillstech. Well, I've worked with them for the last 8 years. And I wanted to start just to say thanks to my team at Leading Teams, because over that 8 years there's been 14, I counted earlier today, 14 facilitators from our team that have worked with Skillstech and the broader TAFE Queensland team. So thank you all. And particularly you, Fletch, for doing a mountain of work with me at Skillstech. And when Justin Peckett and I kicked that work off 8 years ago, John is actually the only remaining executive team member. But I think it's a great example and legacy because there are 3 at our table tonight who were part of that original team, but not in it now, but here tonight. So thanks for joining us. Mary, Simon, Basil. Look, I think there's one reason that would sum up why Skillstech are up here, we'll hear from John in a minute, is really the way they live their trademark and the way they weave it into everything they do. Who and how they recruit, how they induct people into their team, the conversations they have around performance, and the culture they've built and the clarity around that at Skillstech, where the actions are more important than what you say. It's about collaboration, it's about solution being more important than the problem, and ultimately about them showing each other gratitude. And everyone in that organisation, there's over 600 in that part of TAFE Queensland, are aware of that and use it in their language. And for me, it's a great reflection on an executive team that I think most now have come into the executive team, and I've facilitated some of those reviews, and really the conversation is in relation to our trademark, who's next? And so the people who are in that executive team now have not only been a part of the programs that Fletch and I have facilitated to identify leaders, but they live that trademark. I think well over 300 sessions that we've facilitated at Skillstech over the last 8 years. An exec team member is in every one of those, as recently as yesterday. And I will always ask, whatever group it is, would you like to give that exec team member some feedback? Which, as you can imagine, can open up some really good conversations. Not once in that 8 years have I seen ever an exec team member to be defensive, and I think it's just so important when you're trying to build a strong culture in your organisation that the leaders are open to feedback. So thank you, John, for the opportunity over the last 8 years, and appreciate the relationships that I've built with you all, including you. Thanks, John.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. I was reflecting just on the walk up, actually. I think there's a reason it's a cliche that people standing in the position I'm in right now often say it's humbling to receive this award on behalf of other people. The reason is because it actually is really humbling to accept an award on behalf of, in my case, 640 people work in my part of TAFE Queensland. And each and every one of them has participated in some way in our engagement with Leading Teams. And that really started almost 9 years ago, if I can indulge me for a moment to tell you the story how this all began. That began with Mary Campbell, who's the CEO of TAFE Queensland, who's here tonight as well. Mary was in my role previously as the General Manager of TAFE Queensland Skillstech, and I recall her and I going to a conference at the Gold Coast, as I said, almost 9 years ago. We were there and we decided to split up. My job was to go and support a colleague, Basil Harvey, who's here tonight as well, in his presentation at this conference, and Mary was off to find out about this thing she'd heard about called Leading Teams. The rest is history. We started a relationship, certainly with Tim on the day. We didn't know Tim at the time, but that relationship started there. And here we are almost 9 years later, and I can tell you, hand on heart, it has transformed our organisation top to bottom, right across it, up and down, whichever way you want to view it. Not only has it changed the organisation, it's changed me as an individual, me as a leader, and I can say that is true of my leadership team, by the way, who are mostly on table 5. Give them a round of applause, please. So personally and professionally, it's had an impact across our organisation, and I cannot thank Tim enough for that. Thank you, Tim. Absolutely outstanding effort in facilitation across our organisation. But as Tim mentioned, we've had almost every facilitator at Leading Teams has had some involvement with us over those years as well. So that's a fantastic partnership. We continue to be advocates because it's brought such reward for us as an organisation and as a group of individuals across our organisation as well. So thank you very much, Leading Teams, and thank you very much for the recognition and award. But I really recognise all of those mostly 640 people who are not here tonight that actually went the hard yards. I spoke in that video about the work done in between sessions, and for those people that are engaged with this, know that's where the magic actually happens, where the commitment is adhered to and turns into action. Sometimes not easy, frequently not easy, but rewarding nonetheless. And so thank you very much for that.